Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Monday the 10th of January 2022. There's a lot going on today, so we're just going to jump straight into it. Mill are bidding. They're bidding and bidding and bidding. They're throwing the bids around like nobody's business, and there's two bids that we know of came out today. Mill see initial bids rejected for Derby's Louie Sibley and Fortuna Sittard's Zian Flemming. So what's happening here? So Mill have had initial bids for Derby County's Louie Sibley and Fortuna Sittard Zian Flemming rejected. It remains to be seen if the Lions will go back with a renewed bid for either player. The South Londoners are keen to add an attacking midfielder. Sibley, 20, has made 14 championship appearances this season, but has not featured since the 1-1 draw with Millwall in early November. That's weird. Why is that? He was just 18 when he scored a hat-trick at the Den in only his second league start in June 2020. Mill have an extensive list of targets in a couple of key positions they are looking to strengthen in the January transfer window. That was from the London News Online, and we also had this earlier in the day. Dutch press report claims Mill have had a bid rejected for Fortuna attacking midfielder Zian Flemming. Mill have reportedly failed with an offer for Fortuna Sittard attacking midfielder Zian Flemming. The 23-year-old who came through the Ajax youth system has been wanted by Nottingham Forest in the past, according to reports. Dutch magazine Voetbal International are reporting that he is on the Lions' radar this window and that the South London club have had a €1.3 million bid rejected. The outlet adds that Flemming is under contract to the Dutch side until 2024 and they are under no pressure to sell. The Amsterdam-born player has made 13 appearances this season, scoring twice and providing 2 assists, but his side find themselves second from bottom, 3 points from safety. Flemming started his senior career at Young Ajax before moving to PEC Zwolle in 2018. In 2019, he moved on loan to NEC Nijmegen, I think they're called, where he scored 13 goals in 24 appearances before making the move to Sittard in 2020. Huddersfield have previously been linked with the midfielder as well. So a player who's definitely improving from NEC. And then to Sittard, getting better, it seems. So who is this geezer? Well, this was the original story that everyone's talking about. This is from www.vi.nl. This is Voetbal International. And it has been translated from Dutch into English. Again, English bid for Flemming. Fortuna not overstag. So what's happening? So there you go. Zian Flemming, 23, is again coveted by a club from the English Championship. After the interest of Nottingham Forest last summer, it is now Millwall FC that wants to take over the attacking midfielder from Fortuna Sittard. A first bid from London has been rejected by the Eredivisionist, just as Forest previously could not meet Fortuna's requirements. Millwall now also knows that the Amsterdammer cannot be easily picked up. Flemming still has a contract until mid-2024 without a limited transfer fee. Millwall made Fortuna a proposal to buy off the commitment for around €1.3 million, but that offer was rejected. It is not known how much the Sittarderen want to receive for Flemming. The price tag of €1.5 million, which went around earlier, has in any case been jacked up. Fortuna took over Flemming in the summer of 2020 for €200,000 from PEC Zwolle. In South Limburg, the former Ajax youth player has become one of the most important players. In 48 games for Fortuna, Flemming was good for 17 goals and 10 assists. Hence the dissatisfaction in Sittard about his absence from the first training sessions of the new year. Flemming could not leave his holiday address in Spain due to corona infection. In the meantime, after a negative test, he is back in Sittard. So what happened is they obviously have a winter break because they're foreign. They don't like hard work. No, I'm joking. They have a winter break, and he went to Spain and then couldn't get back in time for training. So that's not too good for them. And that was the end of the article there. Yeah. But that little story there originally in Dutch, and then someone probably told all the English press about it, probably on Twitter or something. Yeah, and you can, if I'm on Microsoft Edge, and you can translate it, and you can see even the comments. There's some comments. Jack Reynolds, whoever that is. The Eredivisionists should not sell the skin expensively. Our league is so lamely seen. The times of a few millions must be behind. The Premier League is bursting with money, and Fortuna has to hire 7 million. Flemming. A club like Fortuna has to set the tone for our Premier League. 17 goals and 10 assists in 48 games is a very good return for a relegation candidate. I would like to see him at the top of the championship. So there you go. It's people are saying, oh, just take the money. Well, you crazy? You're gonna get relegated. But like they say, it's like with us with Jed Wallace, but the reverse. So that they're in a relegation places, they're fighting for their life. He's their best player, and I'll show you that here. He is their best player. This is a rating of all their players. He has a rating of 7.17. This is from WhoScored.com. He's their best player. Even with him playing, and just to now, how good is this league, Eredivisie? How good is it? Like, they're a team in the relegation places. Now you see here number 3, George Cox. That is an English player. He is an English lad. Where's he come from? You ever heard of him? He came from Northampton Town and went to Fortuna Sittard, and he's their 3rd best player from Northampton Town in League 2. So how good is this league really? When a player from Northampton Town in League 2 can go over there and be the 3rd best player for a team, albeit in a relegation zone. But so there you go. But like I said, like with us with Jed Wallace, we sell Jed Wallace now and get the money, or we keep him until the summer, let him go for free, but then he can help us to get in the playoffs. But for them, it's the opposite way. Not only that, so they're trying to stay up. They sell their best player. That's probably fucked their chances of staying up. But they got the money. Then you're gonna go down. But you got the money. Well, what good is that? Plus, his contract isn't up in the summer. He's got another year. So even if they do get relegated, unless he starts kicking off, they can say, well, look, you've got a year on your contract. Like, we need you to play well to get us promoted. So if you could stay here and do that, that would be fantastic. And then you can be a free agent in the summer, and then you can leave for free and become a millionaire with a signing on bonus and all that shit. So what are you going to do? Exactly. So they don't need to sell. Unless he wants to leave, they don't need to sell. Now, another thing that might be happening, I don't know how bad it is over there, but you've seen reports of rioting and stuff in Amsterdam, in terms of the COVID thing kicking off. People not happy at all, and you would imagine it takes a lot for Amsterdammers to start kicking off and rioting. They seem to be quite a mellow bunch with all the weed that they take and whatnot, and all the cycling, and they seem to be a bunch of hippy dippies. So for them to start fucking rioting, must be something wrong there. So maybe he wants to leave the country. I don't know. Maybe he just wants to earn more money because he's faced with his own mortality with all this COVID nonsense. And you think life's too short. Let's start earning some fucking money. Let's go to England and get the money, get the bag. Who's holding the bag? So let's have a look and see what this guy is and what's he doing. So this is the club. Like I'm showing you, he's their best player, and then we're going to actually go into his stats here. So this season, 13 games, 1,170 minutes, 3 goals, 3 assists, 1 man in a match, rating of 7.17. If we scroll down, you can see here he has played up front. He got a rating of 7.3 there. He played once as an AMC, got 7.53, and he's actually played in midfield a couple of times, got 6.39. So there you go. So his strengths here and his weaknesses there, you can see. So it does seem to be more of an attacking player, high pressing player, not really a pass and move type style player. Likes to dribble, does not dive into tackles, commits fouls often. And here you can see it. Now, he's got a rating here of 8.77. This game here, this one, against Heracles, they lost 3-1. His team lost 3-1. He got a star. That means green star means man of the match. He got man of the match when his team lost 3-1. Damn, that's fucking good. Look at this here. So they lose 4-3 to Go Ahead Eagles. This is an away game. Another away game. He got 2 assists. Got a rating of 8.29. The latest game that they played before the Christmas break, 22nd of the 12th, Ajax, they lost 5-0. He's still got a rating of 6.46. And all of these games here that he's played, 90 minutes. Played the whole game, all of them. So there you go. Let's have a look at... Let's just run through some of this stuff quickly because we've got a lot to go through today. There's a lot happening. So there is... So not a lot of defensive work he does really. So seems to be a style of replacement for Jed Wallace. Passing wise, okay. So there you go. That's who he is. Now, he would be a decent signing. It seems. You would assume. I'm a lot more happy about him signing than the other guy that we were linked with, the Senegalese lad, Papa Habib Gay. This would kind of be an attempt to bring in someone who is possibly as good as Jed Wallace is now, but slightly younger. He's 23 years old. He's born on the 1st of August 1998. So it's someone who has the possibility to improve into the player that Jed Wallace is now. So he's the Jed Wallace of Fortuna Sittard, and we're trying to sign him to replace our Jed Wallace, who's looking to become the Jed Wallace of Nottingham Forest or Besiktas, or who knows, whoever's bidding the most money. Now, the other player we were linked with there is Louie Sibley. Now, what's he done? Well, apart from scoring a hat-trick against us, not a lot. So he's 20 years old now. 13th of September he was born, 2001. And he's not done a lot. You can see here. He started 8 games, 6 substitute appearances, 768 minutes in the league, and a rating of 6.23. So he seems to be where Zian Flemming is the Jed Wallace of Fortuna Sittard. Louie Sibley seems to be the Ben Thompson of Derby County. You can see here playing positions all over the shop. Seems to be right-sided, but they've had him play on the left as well. So does he have his preferred position? Because he seems to be playing all over the shop. Substitute 6.18 rating coming off the bench. And look at this, strengths none at all. Maybe that's because he hasn't played enough time on the pitch for that to become apparent. But weaknesses a hell of a lot. Maybe that explains why he hasn't played since November, where he's just fell off. And this happens quite a lot when you get these teenagers. They come in to the team, they get a little blown up, They go Charlie Big Potatoes and their head gets swollen up. And then their game goes to shit, and maybe that's what's happening here. What's more worrying is that we're bidding for him. Now, how much are we bidding for him? If we're bidding €1.3 million for Zian Flemming, who seems to be worth every goddamn cent of that, I hope to hell we're not bidding anywhere near that for Louie Sibley, because he definitely isn't worth it. I don't know if they're just... It was a cheeky bid because they're in administration and they're trying to just get one on the cheap. I hope it's not. They're not bidding £1.3 million for him. Look at this. It's just not a lot of going on here. So he's played 90 minutes twice here. These are his latest matches. And his ratings are in the toilet. And he played 3 minutes against us in November. That was the last time he played. Just not very good, to be honest with you. And Derby have had a little run going on now. So they've started playing well when he's not playing. What does that say? Does that mean he's not a good player? I don't know, but it's not one that I would bid him money for, looking at his stats here now. Certainly not. But Zian Flemming? Very, very impressive, Zian Flemming. So, moving on to other transfer news, going the other way this time. So this is from news@den.co.uk, and they've got a report from Gary Rowett speaking about the Matt Smith situation. Millwall's Gary Rowett asked for comment on report linking Matt Smith with Wigan Athletic move. Millwall boss Gary Rowett said there is nothing, as far as I'm aware, in a speculation linking Matt Smith with a move to Wigan Athletic. A newspaper report last week claimed Smith, 32, was set to sign for the League One side. It's funny here now. News@Den, obviously, newspaper, part of the Southern News. They know full and well who said this. But colleagues, brothers in arms, journalists, covering each other, they're not calling them out. They're saying, oh, a newspaper report made up this complete fucking bullshit about Matt Smith. They could name them if they wanted to, you know. They could say, these fucking idiots down here at this paper said this. We know who they are. We know who they are. But they just said a newspaper report. Smith had made 25 appearances this season, but just 7 of them have been starts. He has scored twice. The Lions want to add another attacker to their squad in January, which could further limit Smith's involvement. The centre forward is in the final 6 months of his contract. Rowett was asked after the 2-1 defeat to Crystal Palace on Saturday if he could shed any light on the story. Not really. I've heard people talking about it at other clubs, which seems a little bit bizarre, Rowett said. There's nothing as far as I'm aware in that story. Millwall are back in league action next weekend against Nottingham Forest, who are trying to sign Jed Wallace. Rowett said there are positives going into the second half of the Championship campaign as they aim to try and revive their top 6 chances. Rowett added, you're always assessing your team. We've assessed our team over a long period now. Saturday was quite symptomatic of us. We've shown for vast parts of the game that we can compete with teams with more quality, with teams in different divisions above us. What we've got to do is try our best not to make those defensive mistakes that we've made. Then stop trying to defend for 45 minutes. It cannot be done. It cannot be done. Do not try and fucking defend for 45 fucking minutes. We did the same thing last week against Bristol City, yes. And you still didn't learn your fucking mistake. You cannot defend for a long time. The best defense is attack. Who wrote that? Machiavelli? In the fucking 1300s? Or was it Sun Tzu? It's been known about for hundreds of years. The best form of defense is attack. And here you are doing the same thing 2 games in a row. and the under 23s did it today, and I'll get onto that in a minute as well. That's something that certainly in the second half of the season we will be looking to rectify and work incredibly hard to not make those mistakes. There are an awful lot of positives going into the league campaign. Yes, and the less defending that the players have to do, the less defensive mistakes they are likely to make. Do you understand this, Gary Rowett? Do you understand that? Fucking hell. So, like we said, under 23s. Now, I watched this on the Recast app. I'll get on that later. But first, we're going to take a look at the game and what the fuck happened. So, under 23s let Leeds slip. Professional Development League action at the Den. Millwall under 23s were defeated 3-2 by Charlton Athletic in the Professional Development League on Monday afternoon. Goals from Seb Drozd and Zach Lovelace put the Lions in a 2-0 half-time lead, but a double from Aaron Henry with one penalty kick and a double and a Daniel Canu goal turned the game on his head inside the last 15 minutes. So let me read that again. 2-0 half-time lead, lost 3-2. Yes, really. Yes, really. And can you guess what they did? Yes. They took off Seb Drozd at half-time and tried to defend for 45 minutes. And they ended up losing 3-2. There were just 7 minutes played when Mill took the lead in bizarre circumstances. Carl Smith's cross was turned towards goal by Lovelace and saved by Nathan Harvey. But the shopper then spilled the ball at the feet of Drozd, who's turned home, As the geezer come forward, he basically fell over. And the ball fell out and Seb Drozd hit him. Lovelace then shrugged off his marker to score from inside the area later in the half, but the Addicts then struck 3 times inside the final 15 minutes to secure the 3 points. Henry converted the penalty after Jeremy Kayazu committed a foul, with the Charlton captain then scoring a free kick 3 minutes later. And Carnew overturned the deficit late on to give the visitors the win. The team was Wright, Smith, Tenzia, Davis, Penny, Topoloj, Drozd, Ben Thompson, Briscoe, Lovelace and Boateng. The subs were Allen, Hammond, Garande, Babajide and Keizu. So Allen came on at half time for Drozd. Keizu obviously come on because he gave away the penalty. I don't know about anyone else. I'd watched most of the game. Yeah. Basically playing like the first team play. Got a 2-0 lead and thought, oh, that's handy, we can defend for 45 minutes now. Not only that, but they still played with 3 up front who weren't coming back to defend. So they were basically constantly counter-attacking, causing stress for the rest of the team at the back. It was just constant counter-attack. They were isolated up front, counter-attacking. And then Charlton just coming back full on, and at least three of our players were still stuck in their half. It really wasn't good at all. So what did Nugent have to say? Nugent mulls over Lions' loss. So Kevin Nugent couldn't hide his disappointment after seeing his side slip to a 3-2 the Professional Development League defeat over Charlton Athletic at the Den on Monday afternoon. Goals from, we know about that. I ain't saying this phrase, but it was a game of 2 halves, Nugent told millwallfc.co.uk. In the first half, I thought we did very well and could have been more than 2-0. They were passing through us a little bit too easily, but we addressed that at half time. However, unfortunately in the second half we reverted to being 11 individuals. The players were all over the pitch. No one showed real personality to take hold of the game. It wasn't overly nice in the dressing room. They're going to have to learn from that quickly. Despite the loss, the Lions Academy is thriving with the likes of Lovelace, Nana, Boateng and B-Sart Topoloj all in and around the first team squad, plus Dan Moss and Alex Mitchell among others excelling on loan. Right from the young ages all the way up to under 23s, everyone is working hard. It's great these lads are now getting the opportunity. That's the positive side of it, but they need to remember that when they're playing with us, they stay at that level and keep pushing the first team players. Now, I wonder who he's talking about there. I don't like digging people out, especially like they're not kids, they're under 23. So Junior Tenzia wasn't good at all today. Now you think he's basically playing every week for Dover Athletic, and he's playing a lot. So you would imagine that would do him some good, but he come back into this game and it was just all over the shop. It was shocking to see, to be honest with you. I don't know if he just didn't want to be there or what. He wanted to be, thought he was above it now or what. But then you've got players like Ben Thompson. Ben Thompson played pretty decently, well. But he wants to be in the Millwall first team, but he's not. So he's choosing to play in the under 23s. And that's the kind of attitude you need to have. And I don't know. It was just weird, man. It's just weird. I think they tried to fit Zach Lovelace in. He hasn't played for the under 23s before, I don't think. Not that much. So they tried to fit him in. Where they got Briscoe. Normally they have Briscoe and Draws and Abdul Malik. And they seem to be pushing Zach Lovelace in there, even though it doesn't really work to have the three up front. And like I said, trying to defend, but then having three up front. And you're just constantly playing long balls up front, and then they lose it because they're isolated up front. And then the ball just comes straight back up at you after you've all gone forward and trying to counter attack to join the three up front. It was really weird. But I did watch most of the game. And how did that go? Now, it was on the Recast app. So to start with, I watched it on my laptop. I logged in on the account here, Recast app account, and watched it on the laptop. Now, I told you in a previous video, so they had enough adverts for me to watch and earn to get enough credits to watch that game. That was 250C to watch that game. But I watched a video. I spent 20C to watch a Millwall video, and that messed up my thing. And I was waiting for new adverts to come out, and they didn't. And you can see here on the left where it says watch and earn, it says no videos. So there are no more videos for me to watch and get free credit. So I actually had to pay. I had to buy tokens to watch that game to make up the shortfall, and you can only buy them. The minimum amount you can buy is £5 worth, 500 credits. So that game cost £2.50 to watch. And yeah, and it was alright. I watched it on the laptop to start with, and it was weird. It was watchable. It was streaming well. Just a few issues. When the players moved, there was kind of like lines on them, kind of like they were a flash. And the sound as well was kind of like being a bit weird, not cracking up, but I think it was because they compressed it. I think because there's a lot of data there to get across. So I think they did something to compress the data or something, compress the picture, and I think that messed up the sound as well. So then I switched to my mobile phone, and that was a lot better. The lines weren't there on that. That was actually a clearer, crisper picture. So I think it was actually optimized for mobile phone watching. On my iPhone I watched it, and it was alright. I don't know if they did. I missed the beginning. I don't know if they did team sheets. They did have a graphic on the side, and then I connected my phone to my television to try it out on that, and that worked well, making it bigger. It was okay. It didn't fill the screen. There was like a box in the middle, not quite 4:3, but the other one, I don't know, is it 15:8, something like that. But yeah, it worked alright. There's no problems. They were playing around with it though. They did a little graphics. They have a little mill badge flipping graphic that came in whenever they tried to do an instant replay. And for the goal, for the first goal, they tried to do a replay of the goal, like, but they kind of messed it up. I think they just hit a button that went skip back 10 seconds. But by the time they pressed it, all they got in on the replay was just Seb Stross celebrating, so they didn't actually get the goal in. But as the game went on, they did a few more trying to show replays, and they did actually get it right eventually in the end. So whoever's doing that, they did that right. The sound was still a bit messed up. I think in the second half it did get a bit better. So I don't know what they did with that, but the sound did kind of improve. And then we were 2-0 up, so I thought, I've got to pop to the shop. I popped to the shops and I tried it out on 4G. So I think this was all before it was on my Wi-Fi. I tried it out on 4G. Let's see if it works on 4G. It took a while to initially load up, but when it did, yeah, it runs smoothly on 4G. Yeah, it was as good as it was on Wi-Fi, pretty decent. But then what wasn't decent was by the time I got to the shops and got my phone out and uploaded it, look at the score, it's fucking 2-2. Like, yeah, and a fucking, what the fuck? And yeah, and then I ended up watching the end of the game, and they ended up getting 3-2, and yeah, complete shit show, to be honest. Yeah, trying to defend for 45 minutes. The same thing that the problem that the first team have. Trying to defend for more, you can't do that. The more you defend, the more they can attack. The more they can attack, the likelihood, the probability of them scoring goes up. How have you not fucking figured this out yet? I don't know. Does that mean you can't defend? No, but you need to have a better plan than let's just fucking defend. You need to figure something out. Maybe bring someone on to play as a counter-attacker. Someone with speed, or bring someone like Matt Smith on. Target man. That kind of thing. Put him on the shortest fullback. Do something. But yeah, in terms of the Recast app, yeah, it's pretty decent. Like I said, the problem here is the videos now. If you compare it to, they're saying like you watch the ads, they got no ads. I watched all the ads, and most of the ads were their own ads. There was like one proper ad there for like some children's play centre, but they need more ads. Like if I could watch ads every day to get credit, like you see these videos here, and all these videos are on Millwall's website. But if I got free ad tokens from free ads, I would watch them on this website, because that ad revenue is getting pumped into Millwall Football Club. So I would probably do that, but I can watch all these videos on Millwall website for free. So why would I? And if you compare it to something like Top 11, I don't know if you know that's Football Manager game. They give you like boosters and medical stuff to improve your players in terms of being a football manager in your squad. You can watch ads to get those things. On Top 11, I think they let you have like 50 a day. So they're able to get 50 ads a day. And they set your limit at that. You could probably watch more, but they don't let you. 50? I've come on here, I watched them all on Friday. I've come on here Saturday, Sunday, and now Monday. There's no more videos for me to watch. They need at least 3 a day, 5 a day. This, like, who doesn't want to advertise to Millwall fans? That they need to market this. They need to get out there and get selling to the advertisers. Because this is, you can target this to specific groups very clearly. like Millwall fans, like, what's that? The advertisers are there. We're here. Get on it. They need to get more advertisers because, yeah, this seems to be a good concept and it works well. But it just needs something happening now. Here's the thing: is this kind of like early adopter now? Just because you're first thing to do something doesn't mean you're the best. Like in the early days of the internet, there were a lot of companies. How many of them are around now? Because other companies were able to watch what they were doing, saw the mistakes they were making or things that could be improved, and then come in and wipe them out. And now we have big, massive internet companies, while the ones from before, nobody knows who they are anymore. Do they even still exist? They've fucking gone to nowhere. AOL. If you're watching this, have you ever heard of AOL? They used to be big. Now they're just nothing. Maybe it's the same thing with this. Maybe someone's going to take this concept, move it on in a way that actually works, because you can't have a thing where you watch ads to earn credits to watch videos, and there are no ads for you to watch to earn credits. You need to get your salespeople out there, drumming up potential advertisers. Anyway, so moving on now. I told you there's a lot to go. There's a lot. We're still going. There's 3 more stories to talk about. So this is from this is the loan watch. It is Monday, so we're doing a loan watch. So did you watch Dan Moss play on, I think it was BBC iPlayer. I'm not sure. I don't think it was on BBC. But Yeovil versus Bournemouth. I did, and he was all over the shop. I know he's playing out right back, but I think he might do well in the middle, to be honest with you. Kind of like a DMC style. I know he's a bit slight and a bit small, but he's got that terrier-like quality where he just he's constantly yapping at you and getting at you. So Dan Moss and Alex Mitchell's Emirates FA Cup adventures came to an end this past weekend. Moss was part of the Yeovil Town side, which lost 3-1 to AFC Bournemouth at Ewish Park. Whilst Mitchell's return to the O's starting lineup proved not to be enough, as they also lost to Championship opposition, this time Stoke City 2-0. Elsewhere, Isaac Loffey's Sutton United experienced a weekend off as the Sky Bet League 2 match at Oldham Athletic was postponed due to a waterlogged pitch. The Gander Green Lane side did advance to the next round of the Papa John's Trophy, however 4 days previous, with a 2-1 win over Colchester United. Meanwhile, Arthur Penny was involved in a 3-2 loss for Welling United at home to St Albans, with Junior Tenzia returning to SC16 after the completion of his loan spell at Dover Athletic. Yeah, and he played for the under-23s today. Not very good. And Arthur Penny played as well, I believe. Did he? Yeah. I think he was at fault for one of the goals as well. Maybe he's a bit tired playing 2 games in a week. So there's the upcoming fixtures. South and Yeovil today on Tuesday. And then the rest are at the weekend. So there you go, Loan Watch. Yeah, like I said, I watched part of Dan Moss playing against Bournemouth for Yeovil. Pretty good. Not overawed at all. Held his own. Yeah, very good. Moving on now to some good news. Dan Ballard. This is from londonnewsonline.co.uk. Mill will get positive return date news on Arsenal loan defender Daniel Ballard. Daniel Ballard is set to return to training in early February. as the on-loan Arsenal defender looks likely to be back available from knee surgery sooner than initially expected. The Northern Ireland international was expected to be sidelined for 3 months after undergoing an operation at the start of December, but the South London press understands that Ballards is making good progress. The centre-back has played 19 times for the Lions after opting to join them on a season-long loan in the summer. He turned down Blackpool, who he had won promotion with last season via the League One playoffs. Ballard has missed the last 7 matches, 6 of those championship fixtures. Before that, he had started all the matches. He had started 19 of their opening 20 league matches. So there you go, Danny Ballard coming back well. Strong and fast. Let's hope it sticks and there's no problems and he just comes straight back in as nothing ever happened. Now we're going to end with this story. Now we have another game postponed, a game on the 5th of February. Now why is that game postponed so far away? It's more than 3 weeks away. Why is that game being postponed against Queen's Park Rangers at the Den on Saturday, February the 5th? Well, you see, because that is the date for the round of the 4th round of the FA Cup. And Queen's Park Rangers got through to the 4th round of the FA Cup, so they will now be playing in that instead of playing us. So that is now a 3rd home game that needs to be fitted in. In the midweeks, we have the Queen's Park Rangers game, the Swansea City game, and the Preston North End game. Now, unfortunately, this free weekend that we have here, we cannot get Preston North End to play there or Swansea City because they already have other things happening. They already have games of their own to play, so that cannot happen. So an extra 3 home midweek games. Now, if you bought a season ticket, and you're one of the fans who can't really get to midweek games, that's kind of screwed you, isn't it? They've taken 3 weekend games and moved them to midweek. That's not ideal for you. But there you go. It is what it is. What can you do? So where this game will take place, nobody knows. I'm scrolling through here looking to see if we still don't have a date for Preston North End, Swansea, or either of those games are not here yet. And you just wonder, where will they be? Probably in March, February. There's a lot going on in February already. But you need to fit them in. And we have COVID restrictions until the end of January, so I'd imagine they'll wait until after they get knocked on the head, because I think that is affecting the attendances. It didn't affect the attendance against Crystal Palace. Still got a decent crowd out for that, but so there you go. Queen's Park Rangers, February the 5th, postponed. So if you want to organise something for that weekend, you go ahead. Some kind of party, birthday party, anything planned, day out, trip to the races, anything other than football. You've got a free weekend there that doesn't involve a Mill game, so go for it. Start making your plans. And on that note, I will say goodbye. Thank you for watching.